Hi everyone, my name is Val and I'm a digital marketer. And today I want to talk about one of the important topics for everyone who work with people about rejection. Because every time when we have rejections, of course, it's not something that we are glad to listen from our companies or potential clients and so on. But sometimes we think that rejection means that something wrong with us, but of course it's not correct. And I had many thoughts linked with this statement, like it's something wrong with me. And today I want to share with my recommendations why you shouldn't do that something wrong with you when some potential clients or I don't know, just when you have rejections. So which thoughts most of all we have when we get rejection? The first one is I'm not good enough at my field. Then I'm bad as a person. Then I don't need to try anymore. I need to stop. And last but not least, maybe it's not for me. If you had these thoughts or you have it right now, share in comments, maybe you have another thoughts. But these four main thoughts that I had every time we have a rejection. I have a rejection, I had rejection, and I will have rejection because it's normal, it's okay if you have some goals and if you want to work with different people. The first one about maybe I'm not good enough at my field. So rejection, how I think, is most often a reflection of other people's current needs and priorities. Maybe they have another person who make a decision, work with you or not really. Maybe, most of all, they have another budget for specialists. And it doesn't mean that you are a bad professionalist because maybe they cannot share their details with you, just said you like no, and you started to overthink about it and ruminate like maybe I'm not good enough. Not. Maybe there are many reasons of your rejection. And by the way, in the end of this video, I will tell you some recommendations what to do after you get a rejection. So, but now I can say that you always need to ask why you have a rejection. So feedback is always useful. So next one is was the biggest problem, but right now, fortunately, I don't have these thoughts. When I had some conflicts at my work with my colleagues, with my boss, with my clients, or when I had some rejections, I was ruminating about me as a person. I was thinking that if something wrong at my work, maybe I'm not a good person as an individual. And of course, it's not correct because you are as a person and you are as a professionalist, it's different things. So, and if you had some troubles at your works, if you had one of the biggest mistakes at your works, it doesn't mean that something wrong with you as an individual. So our rejection at work shouldn't affect our life in general. So next one, maybe I don't need to try anymore. So this thought usually comes when we have several rejections. For example, if you right now looking for clients and you hear more than 2-3 rejections, and it's okay, really, it's normal because we are human, and of course if you many times hear no, 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 of course you start to think that maybe it's something wrong with me, maybe I don't need to try anymore. Rejection, of course, it's not the end of your journey. Every time when you think that you need to stop, maybe you shouldn't continue to try anymore, just think that maybe next client can say yes, and it could be one of the biggest opportunities for you in your career. So maybe you just from one step of the door that you really need. So yeah, and honestly, I don't believe that we have some science from universe or something like that. I'm sure that if you try many times, 100 times, 1000 times, it doesn't matter. When you try and continue do that, I'm sure that maybe not today, maybe not next month, but you definitely will get what you really want. As for me, every time when I have a rejection, it's a new opportunity for growth. Because as for me, it's not about failure, about mistake and something like that. I don't feel that I'm an underdog. I just feel that okay, right now this open is closed for me, but I have another doors. I can try another approach to this door and something like that. If right now this door is closed for you, maybe later this door will be open for you. So just remember about it, and you just need to continue trying. And last but not least, it's when we think that maybe it's not for us. How I said before, I don't believe that we have some signs from universe and something like that. But every famous celebrities, every successful people had an abundance of rejections, and I think that every time when we think that it's not for us, but if you feel that you really love it and you want to continue, just don't think about it, really, because no one, even your mom, even your best friend, your teacher, no one can say like, yeah, it's really not for you, or maybe you need to try something new, or yes, it's for you. No one can say it, no one can know about it, because it's you, it's your life, it's your experience. Only you can know yourself, your skills, your opportunities better than other people. So, and by the way, if someone tells you that maybe it's not for you, just don't listen, really, because it's not make sense. It doesn't matter, because only you can decide what's really for you. And by the way, I want to tell you just 3 stories about some famous people, just for your motivation and inspiration. Michael Jordan. As a young athlete, Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, with the coaches believing he wasn't good enough. So Jordan used this rejection as motivation and went to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time, winning 6 NBA championships. So Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, Oprah was fired from her first television job, being told she was unfit for TV. So Oprah didn't give up and continued her career in television, eventually becoming one of the most influential women in the world and founding her own media company. And Walt Disney. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no good ideas. He also faced numerous rejections when seeking funding for Disneyland. Disney went on to establish his own animation studio and create one of the largest entertainment empires in the world. Disneyland and other parks have become iconic family destinations. So, oh my gosh, every time when I read this story, I really feel that I have more motivation. And yeah, this is a life hack. If you have the same, just try to find more successful stories about people who had rejections. Also, I want to share with you my recommendations what to do after rejection. So if you want to know how to return rejection into your advantage, because every time when we have something negative, we need to turn it into positive, and it's the similar thing with the rejection. First of all, when I have a rejection, I try to analyze and learn. Analyze, for example, how this meeting was, what I said, which questions my potential clients asked, how I answered, what I showcased, and so on and so on. Instead of getting upset, just ask yourself what I can learn from this experience. Maybe I need to learn that for some questions I need to be more prepared. Maybe I need to add some more details about my results in my presentation, and so on and so on. The first, analyze and learn. The second one is maintain connections. It doesn't matter if you have a rejection or something like that. I would recommend you to continue communicate with these clients, because rejection doesn't mean that this company or these people don't like you or your expertise. Maybe right now they don't have enough budget for your services or products, but they can recommend you to other companies, other friends, colleagues, and so on. And they always need to remember about you, about your services or products. So, and the second reason is that maybe in 6 months, maybe in 1 year, they can have more budget, or I don't know, other people at the team, and of course they can back to you. So, and it's a useful connection. Next one is ask a feedback from the person or the company that gave you rejection. I every time just ask my client, like, can you share please your feedback, because it can be really useful for me to know for my future, to know for my professional career. Please just share your honest feedback. And it's so useful because everyone from us tend to think that maybe we said something wrong, maybe they didn't believe into us or our expertise. So it's so useful. So I would recommend you every time ask an honest feedback. And last but not least is seek new opportunities, because sometimes rejection, how I said, that means just that right now this door is closed for you, but maybe you need to change an approach to that. Maybe you need to invite some people for opening this door, and something like that. Maybe you need to back later. So every time rejection, it's just an opportunity to seek new opportunities, maybe new people, new clients, new approaches, and so on. So that's it, and I hope that it was useful for you. And just remember that rejection doesn't mean that something wrong with you. So it was Val, and see you. Bye bye. Does um